Chapter 4. First Day. After a revitalizing morning workout, Jindo felt invigorated and prepared for his first day at Maison Gabrielle. Since he had arrived a bit too early, he decided to have a leisurely stroll around the neighborhood to while away the time. Roughly 15 minutes before his scheduled starting time, he returned and rang the doorbell. This time, the door swung open almost immediately, as if someone had been eagerly awaiting his arrival. There stood Gabrielle, clutching a small takeaway cup filled with a curious blend of red and green liquid, her smile warm and welcoming.
Hello!
Though still clad in her dusty black leggings and t-shirt, Gabrielle appeared quite refreshed. Jindo couldn't help but notice her radiant beauty, accentuated by her now moisturized hair and glowing, blemish-free complexion. In fact, Gabrielle cut quite a striking figure, standing at an impressive 175 centimeters, 5'7", 8 feet. She was neither waif-like nor runway skinny, but her slender, well-proportioned frame made it easy to believe she was once a fitting model at Lanvin. Upon entering the premises, Jindo found that not only Gabrielle, but the entire place seemed polished and revitalized. No one else appeared to have arrived yet, and Gabrielle ushered Jindo directly to her office.
Do you want to come to my office?
Yes, sure.
Jindo wasn't quite certain why he was being led to her office, but he assumed there might be matters to discuss prior to commencing work.
Voila!
With a flourish, Gabrielle presented her revamped office, and it dawned on Jindo that she simply wanted to show off her latest handiwork. As he surveyed the room, Jindo noted that the office was, indeed, immaculate and well organized. Tables and equipment were neatly arranged, and the walls now sported finished graffiti murals. Feigning interest, Jindo could sense Gabrielle's anticipation of his remarks.
It's amazing, Gabrielle.
Yes, I know.
She appeared rather chuffed with herself, and Jindo felt compelled to linger a bit longer, indulging the creator in some well-deserved praise as Jindo's gaze swept across the office. What particularly caught his eye was the array of equipment taking up a considerable amount of space. Each piece was black, covered in scratches and adorned with partially peeled-off stickers. The mice and keyboards were rather dusty, and the fans emitted a cacophony as if they were at their wits' end. In fact, it came as a surprise to Jindo, who believed that, for tomorrow's fashion, efficient systems might play a crucial role in fostering creativity and productivity. He also thought that such technology would be an important feature in the office's display, particularly in an open guest-oriented fashion house like Gabrielle's.
Gabrielle, do you rely on computers much for your designs?
No, I don't need to. All my designs are in my head.
She gestured towards her head with her index finger, a serious expression on her face.
Ah, that's great.
Jindo sought to gauge her use of technology, impressed by the self-assuredness of the gifted designer. He mused to himself, yes, Gabrielle is a dedicated artisan in couture, and she doesn't need all that tech support to prove herself. Those devices might be for administrative purposes. Nonetheless, Jindo couldn't help but wonder why she had placed so many devices in her tiny office, all of them switched on. Then again, he felt he had to dismiss his concerns, as Gabrielle appeared keen to discuss the finished artwork adorning the walls.
Do you like my paintings, by the way?
Ah, yes, of course.
He examined the walls as if they made a significant impression on him. Featuring an array of cartoon characters, the paintings were vibrant and whimsical overall. Jindo could envision that Gabrielle's ideal empire would resemble a Disneyland filled with her personal flair. However, he couldn't shake a certain sense of unease that emanated from the entire scene. Set against a black backdrop, the characters were painted in bold, vivid colours. They seemed to stare at visitors with oblivious intensity, almost as if they were about to devour them like cannibals. Jindo couldn't help but perceive them as demonic figures donning cartoon masks. Despite the disconcerting atmosphere, Jindo found the concept somewhat unoriginal. Although he grasped the central idea, each element appeared to be borrowed and modified from various sources. Even so, he acknowledged that not all creations were purely original, as they often drew inspiration from elsewhere. With that in mind, he opted to compliment the artist.
They look fantastic, Gabrielle. I love the richness of your color palette.
Yes, I think so too.
Jindo was slightly taken aback by her self-satisfaction, but he chose not to dwell on it. Gabrielle then launched into a monologue describing the bright, positive utopia she longed to create. Although Jindo felt the visual representations deviated from her aspirations, he merely smiled and nodded along. Simultaneously, Jindo questioned his own judgment. Why am I being so critical, having all this negative vibe by myself? This is just a piece of art by the former Chanel creator. It should be appreciated for what it is. Besides, I may not yet fully understand her creative universe, so I need to take more time to learn about it. Oblivious to Jindo's internal musings, the self-assured director happily chatted about her ideal universe for a while, sipping her colourful takeaway juice